Hello guys, today I would like to speak about the cursor and why and it's a little bit my frustration about the cursor because it's a completely different thing that I realized that I saw on posts on an Instagram how I met with the cursor. There was a guy at there was a guy making a live code with the cursor and he was building an application. It was very nice. It was very pretty well and everything was working nice. And I just like that and I would like to try. And I saw all that posts on a Twitter about that things and I decided to download. And then I tried a couple of applications and this one on a screen, this is my last application. And how the problems occur, I would like to try. And this is a basic front end and backend included application backend. It's a .NET application, ASP.NET application on a backend, and on the front end, it's a React application with a TypeScript. So the problem is that what I tried, it starts to be unmanageable and it starts to get out of my control, the project. It's like yesterday I realized that this is my project, but I don't know what features inside because Cursor is just adding some other additional thing. And it's like I can definitely say vibe coding. I don't believe vibe coding because on the right side, on a panel, the agent panel, I'm prompting something very carefully, very clear what I need, but it always creates some other files, other folders, and not able to prevent this. And it always starts to add other things. And most of them it's not using. It's like the scenario is very familiar. Like this scenario, it's like I'm prompting something and it's creating some other features with them. And I'm prompting again, like you created some other things. Why you created that even you are not using? And it's answering like, oh sorry, I forgot to use and starting to use. And all of them, there is no meaning. Like it's last one, I was trying to prompt. There was a problem on one of the controllers on an integration controller. There was a problem on the here about to get integrations action. I was just trying to explain when the need the the request is came here, just take the all integrations belong to user and give them all because that part, this action is protected by user ID. It has to be authenticated to request this one. And I gave this explanation many times with the different agents like this one or other ones on thinking, auto select, it doesn't matter. It always creating some shitty things. And I was just trying to figure out what can I do. And I found that rules. So they suggested and also the cursor recommended creating the backend rules and the front end rules to buy a project. But the thing is that you are not able to like you are able to select like an attached the automatized by automatization attached, but you are not able to give the folders. It only works with the file patterns because I would like to give like a front end and a back end folders, and it can easily work, but it's not supporting the folders. It supports the files. So I gave that once here and a CS for the .NET project, but this one is helped too much, but it didn't solve my problem. That's why I'm recording this video to explain cursor. It's really nice. It's working with the cursor to using. There are many benefits of this, but it's not everything. It's not nothing, but also it's not everything. It will not able to create most of that things. It's it created a shitty front end. Definitely shitty front end. There is no other meaning. Like I created the backend application with the .NET and requested like a creating an authentication system, and it created. Then I requested the creating a Google authentication, but the Google authentication wasn't work. It was tons of problems, and also the refresh token wasn't work because I requested the authentication system, but it didn't use ASP.NET Identity or any other ones. It created by itself. So then it decided. By the way, the folder structure is very nice. no bad comments on a folder structure. But the thing is that this is creating most of that things. There is no need. Then it decided to create a refresh token. Yes, that could be really nice using with the refresh token, but it's not using. The problem is that how is that decided to create this refresh token? Because I didn't mention it. Okay, you created it, so use it. Or give me a notification on that panel, like I created the refresh token, and then you should use or you should prompt on some point. It's not saying anything, it's not notifying anything, just editing and adding. There's no meaning of this. And I prompted again, like let's use the refresh token. Okay, if you edit, let's use. So it created the using some things on a refresh token, but it's not working properly. The problem is that this is my local database, and these are the tokens. It's just creating the tokens when every time you log in. So it's not deleting when you log out. So I prompted like how you are thinking, how you would like to manage that tokens, because you are not deleting. If it needs to refresh with one of the users, which token you would like to use. Then he decided to add an IP address. But I'm working on a local, so that all IP address is my local. And I tell this, so what happened? It decided to create a background job here on the services. It created a token cleanup service. Okay, these are really nice ideas, pretty well. But I don't know, what should I say? The problem is that the cursor is working well. Yes, it is working well, definitely. These kind of solutions are really nice, but you have to know. You can't say something like, if you don't know how to program, but even you can use cursor and create application. No, you can just create just one file application and what it can. So I understand how that works, and even with my skills, it's a kind of frustration because it's out of my control already. So what is my last problem? It's on an integration controller. I was trying to implement something like this, but the problem is that the response types are different. Also, it was using every time to check the user ID. Then I requested this, put that user ID claims to the base controller. And the base controller, also there wasn't a base controller. It was just responding with a different type of response. So I requested this, let's create a strict response type. Then it created this one. Oh, it's not locating with this. Let's go here. It created this one. Yes, it's pretty well. I mean, the success and a fail here. The created one, I don't know why is this one here. I mean, success is okay. I have no idea what is created. No content response. I don't know, maybe yes. Okay, but it count as a success. I mean, the bad request. You know, I used many times of that kind of managed on a point, but like localization of the response type, and it generally is just success and a fail. Even this one has two different fails, like one with an error code, one is a string of error code. And what is error code? Here, if you go to let's locate to the here. Oh, I believe this one. No, not this one. Can we go this? No. Here, yes. So it created the enum list for the error codes, and there are tons of different error codes. But what's happening? So if you created this, use this. I requested the new controller, but that new controller wasn't use this one. it was just responding with the string error codes. Why? I mean, if you created this, so you have to use. So the problem is that if you created this and if you didn't use, that means you didn't remind. And also you didn't notify me, or you didn't create a readme file or instructions file for that project. I mean, if you do that, even some point or instructions shows you do to when you are creating a response from a controller, you have to use that in a list. If it's not there, you should add this one. You shouldn't use other one. Like there is no instruction like that. So if you request a new controller like this one, it was just creating a random types. Then I requested like a Y created random types. And you know what? It also created the thing is that inside the base API controller, it wasn't this one. Sorry, where is that? Where is that? Yes, this one wasn't here. This one wasn't here. It created this one also because just this one was here. And when creating the integration controller, also this one is added there. Why? Because it don't want to specify that error code in an enum list. I don't know, is that lazy or it's not reminding itself or I have to remind every time? Still, there are some pretty strict problems. Like, I mean, my first application, like this is my 7th or 8th experiment with the cursor, yes. And the previous one, a kind of trash. It always trash. Why? Because it happened always the same thing. Like when I created the used cursor first time, it was always using just one file to build everything, to code implement everything in a one file. It's unmanageable. Then I realized that if I change the prompt, if I specify what I need, if I use the README files or task files, then it could be more useful, more maintainable. Then I requested like a obey the solid principles, obey the dry principle, etc. I'm giving the principle, I'm giving the folder structure, layer types, like green architecture, use that architecture. It's like obey that rules. Then after that, it started to create a folder type like that. So this one is very nice, but still there are some problems. So at the moment here, I don't know what should I do. Should I start from scratch again? Because this login, the the, the the login controller, the authentication controller, it's not working properly. And also definitely there are some role controller problems. And also, you know what? This is the some backend problems. Maybe I can solve all of them by myself. I can start to solve. Yes, definitely. But the problem is on the front end. I am not very skilled on the front end. Generally, I'm using AI to create this. I understand what's going on, but it's not. I'm not pretty well. Yeah. So what are the problems on front end? I prompted many times. This is a React project with TypeScript. So create the layer and define that layer once. So it was really basic problem. I know that there was two scrolls on page. So I was prompting like there was two scroll and it didn't understand why that scrolls comes from. So I decided to say this like this element on a front end causes this. Let's change this or etc. But I realized there's no names on the classes. It was just using the bootstrap or tailwind. It doesn't matter. The things like margin top MT or padding instructions like PT or PB, etc. There's no name for the classes. And then I prompted like you have to use that all that things with the specified class names. Then it started to create a file for all that things, but it wasn't a general way because generally projects they will create a folder for all CSS files or SAS or less what you want to use for a place to generally manage all that files, but it didn't create this one. It was just giving inline CSS things with the names. So I requested again, just create a global CSS file and then include the other files, or just also including the files is not correct. Like, I mean, you don't need to import all the CSS once. Just create the file, separate the CSS files, depend on which page is using which one. So create a system like a which page open, it will call this. This one is also another problem, and it's not working properly at the moment. It's just calling every time what it is there. And also the other problem is authentication. I requested the use authentication system according to the backend, and also created the response type. It's a centralized response type for each request, and create a type corresponding to the backend, and it can easily read that path project, but even that, it didn't work properly. So trying to solve that problem, it also created many things here. Like, I mean, where can I find it? Things. Withdrawal protection. I don't know what are those files exactly, but it is doing something like this, and these are totally wrong. I believe these are not correct, but it is what it is. And here it's also keeping something like this, and also it used to the local storage, but there are some also problem on the local storage, because it just registered the user or admin on the local storage, and when I changed this, it was changing also. And I told them this is totally wrong. I mean, you have to create a system to check that, because I can easily manipulate this. Then it created some other thing, but it didn't remove that local storage parts, and these are, I believe, that comes from there. And I can definitely say it's not working still properly. This one is working here. So this is the application, and this is the one scroll thing. This is working correctly here, but and also the light theme and a black theme wasn't working nice. There are also some problems. Still, there are some problems. Like if I go to the profile section, oh, here, this is the one of the problems. Like, how could be? This is just a user. But it redirected to the admin, and it says client. Like, let's change this as an admin, and I'm refreshing the page, and it says something different. Now, what happened to it? Is that admin now? Client. There is no client role. This is a user role, by the way. Had no idea what is going on here. And I requested to dashboard, and it's just redirect to the admin again. This is the profile. Let's sign out. Yes. So I don't know how can explain that problems, but these are just giving me a pain, tons of pain, and definitely I don't know how should I solve. I'm pretty stuck on a point. I'm just considering about, should I start from scratch again, or should I try to solve that out problems. I believe that front-end project, it's a kind of trash, because it's not managing. I know how should be the front-end structure. Like, you should create a file for the requests. You should use that file for the get and post request, and you will put the header there, like, because we are using the token, the header token, and you will put that token there, and it will help you to centralization of the token system. You don't need to add that token always to the header. It easily help you to manage that token there. Well, what's happening? It's just creating requests in each file. There is no centralized system, and it's not able to keep that token properly, I mean. So what is the other problems? And also I connected this project to here on a Sonar Cloud. But this one is also a problem. It's like there are many duplications on a front-end project. These are not nice, that's okay. Reliability, it's worse, probably, it's E. Then I just go over inside to this. So on a main project, here on the measures, look at that things, it's an out. Look at the authentication things. It's here. It says more than 2 hours to technique depth here. What is this one? Page. Which page? Callback page. It's related with an alpha again. So what is this one? Page. Profile page. I don't know why is this one. And look at that things. Had no idea why always adding some other things. What is this one? Header. I don't know how should I solve all that things. The issues. Is there no? There's no critical issues, I believe. And also the thing is that I'm pretty well on the backends, and I can double check everything. Like if someone pushed the application on the outside of the how should be, if someone tries to trick the application with the manipulating the GVT or other things, the backend will not believe that kind of that things. I would like to deploy some application like that, but even though this one is not like that, I prompted this like how should you create this one, how should you understand this one. It's like I requested like I created a middleware, and if there is a authenticated, because this is not an identity, so we need to define our role that things. It's a kind of RBAC system because there's just two role, admin and client, but we have to define what is the possibilities of that. So of course the request is including that role, but that request could be manipulated. We have to check this. So you should create a centralized system for the requested user token. Is that correct? But this interesting thing is even not able to create something like this. I don't know what it created. It's like that's why my frustration is occurred about the the Cursor AI and other things. GVT source. It creates the GVT. Yeah, nice, very nice. The validate token here. It created the validate token. But where? Okay, it is validating. Definitely, that's okay. But what is the corresponding token? Because when you create that token, you have to store the copy of that token inside. So when the token comes, you need to check. Is that real? Is that okay? I mean, this one has no idea about that token is created by itself. Because I can easily trick that application with it sending just token with these things. I mean, issue and audience. What are that things? What is this one? secret issue audience expression in minutes. Okay, I believe somewhere is set that things to... You know, it's... Yeah, definitely there should be a salt. There should be a salt to solve this token. It's like this is my some ultra private token key, etc. So here is the generating. Yes, this one. This one is secret. Yes, definitely. So show me. Here is the key. Okay, where is the key? Okay, I believe this one works. Yeah, I believe this one works. I don't know. I should try. If it's using that secret. Okay, that could be nice. But where it used? Here. No reference. Nice. So it just created. The problem is, telling again, the problem is it's just writing code and it's not understanding the idea of this. It's just creating. Like, you know, what makes us human? Our emotions. Our emotions making us human. Because when you are doing that, you will feel. You you have an aim and you are walking the path to the aim and you would like to achieve it. And there are tons of different emotions to doing that. And there is a logic of to doing something. Like there is an idea and you are trying to realize that idea. That's why we are checking, we are controlling, and we are trying to be sure is that working. The AI has no idea about all that things. Just you say something and it try to create something. Okay, it is working really fast. I mean, this project, this backend project, all that layers of the project is created in 2 days. 2 days, five hour each. Yes, probably 10 hours totally is created this project. And most of the struggling part is Google authentication things and some other parts. The problem is that I just requested to add Google authentication this project, but it's not instructing me like I need this one or I need this one. I know how is Google authentication could be, but this one is thinking like it's not like this. It just created some codes and it gave me like okay, I did and it's working. How? Even I didn't give you a Google authentication credentials, like which Google console you will use, which callback method. The callback method is redirecting to where? I mean, even all that things, it's not asking anything. It's just saying I created. It's not. It's not. So one of the YouTubers I saw he was suggesting like this one and oh where was it? Here. I saw this one. And this one is includes like clearly indicate task completion. I believe this one is work nice, but it's like I just recently add this and I didn't use that. So I will try cursor with all that instructions again. I created that rules, do both of the rules and also that user rules. And please clarify that questions. If there's something unclear, please do that. I mean, why I'm recording that video, it's almost half an hour. Why I created this? Because it's like I would like to help you guys. I mean, I don't want to feel you alone because I was. I'm feeling alone because the Twitter and YouTube, the guys is just tons of that guys. The full that gap. They are saying like I created this application in 2 weeks. It's working. I made it 10,000 billion or etc. It's and this one is creating application with just wipe coding. Even someone is checking. Even someone is coming and saying like even I didn't use the keyboard. I just speak and it built that application. And it works. How man? How? Mine one and your one. If the both of them are same, I'm not believing you. I'm not believing you. I tried all that things. I'm still keeping try, and let's see what happens. I would like to show you something. This is very interesting thing here on the screen recordings. I was trying to create also the games, and that games has also the problems. And look at this one. It's in another game.
Evet, ilginç denemeler yapmaya devam ediyor.
It's in another game for a tightrope walker. And look what it created on the first time. I was watching some videos and creating some requests. Which video I opened? Yes, this one. Yeah. Look at this. Look at this. What it created. So the idea is creating a mountains and putting a platform on the top of the mountain. And look what it created. So how should you explain your problem again? And I was taking screenshots and trying to explain the problems again. Yes, here the screenshot and pulled everything to explain this problem to there. It's like where it starts from here. And it's still the mountain here is the platform is there also. The guy is just looking at block, but that's okay. I mean, we can do that later. I mean, yes, it's 30 minutes and still the platform is over. And all that minutes I was trying to do that. Look at what the fuck is this? So I create to fill the gap. So what I expect, just extend the mountain or put the platform down. Well, it created a concrete material down to the platform. Even that material, it's not filling the gap. And also I requested this, it's not filling, and it put it another platform there. And I'm sending more pictures to explain this. 45 minutes, 50 minutes. Look what it created. At least it's extended the platform. At this point, I remind, at this point I was considering like should I remove the mountains and extend the platform into down like the Lord of the Rings towers. Because already I spent an hour, almost an hour, to explain this gap problem. What it does. It doesn't do that, by the way. I extended the mountains. I just find that things and I was just adjusting the values to find out why it's like that. And then I realized that create platform method here and it was working something wrong. There was another method for the creating the peak of the mountain and it wasn't correct. It wasn't working correctly. And I just realized that method and changed that method here at somewhere after 1 hour. What's going on? Yeah. I'm trying to still discovering the method. Okay, let's find out where exactly I solved that problem. One and a half hour. Yes, here. 1.5 hour. After 1.5 hour, I solved that problem. This is really just easy problem. 1.5 hour. And the guy is come and say like, oh, I built this with just wipe coding and I'm just speaking with my voice and it's building. Yeah. Definitely, I believe you. Or if I'm wrong, please come on the comment side and explain me. How can I do that? You know what? I would like to show you some, and also, look at this. Even that all struggling things. When you step over to the rope, the guy is just flipping over, and it started to walking over the head. And look at me on the right side here there. It's like, yes, you will see. And I'm just laying down on the table, and look at my face. How I'm feeling worse that could be. I mean, watched it. Yeah, it is walking over the head. I don't know. And let's try this one. Is it open? No. No, this is another application. Tightrope 1, Tightrope 2. Where is the first application? That's, you know what I'm doing? I'm speaking with an AI agent, AI tools to create the best instructions, best readme, or best. I'm trying to best to define to create something easily. Let's find the first version of the game. No, not this one. Not this one. Definitely not this one. Here, I saw. Yes, this one. What I prompted. Let's go a little bit forward. What I'm doing here. This was another application. Okay, it's not important. Yeah, this one's another application. Yeah, here. I prompted many things. I believe I should do that. Yes, it started to create this one. Let's use the arrow case to use the tightrope walker. Okay, definitely I said create the two mountains and put the rope between that two mountains, and you use the UI thing and also use the camera angles. And what it's creating is just a game.js, an index HTML file, and one style CSS with just 3 folder. What we achieved. Not easy. Not easy. So it's like, I don't know what should I feel. Then I gave tons of prompt. What it is? What it is? Here. What it is? Yes. Look at this. So it just gave me something like this. And I'm taking a picture of this and sending to AI to understand what it does. And let's see what's going on. Nothing changed. Doing some other things. At least I decided to give up on this one and started the second one. Then after the second one is also not bad, but it's like fair enough. But I decided to try third one. This one, is not this. It looks like the continuous of that one, but it's like there is also another tightrope walker project. And this is the one of the fully AI built projects. It's, I don't know. It says it was. How? Look at this. It's not walking over to the rope. Yes, the guy was flying, and I'm trying to explain this to AI. Floor, feet, guy, gap. I'm trying to every way to communicate with an AI. This is very interesting thing. I will create this one. It's like, where is it? It's a 14-minute. I will use that, create this. So it's like, I believe this one is creating the focusing on the camera angles. And also the adding some other features for the character. What's going on here? Same problems. And yet this one is not still going over to rope, and I prompted this, it's not going over to rope. I believe there's a problem, there is something on here, it's prevent me to walk there. I'm still dealing with AI. Yes, at least I solved this and started to walk over. Look at the guy. So it's after you won, and if you press to start again, the guy is just staying like that. What a story. I mean, there is tons of job, tons of business, and the tons of communication problems. I believe it's not just by my own. I mean, that's supposed to be some other problems. It's not just problems to explain what I need, because I tried many things. Look at this project. I tried many things. The Fall Fighter. This one is also another project that I try. Here is this one, and this project has also the problem. The characters are not falling down. This is the only character that I am falling down. Trying to find a part. Here, yeah. I'm digging the floor and I'm able to fall down, but any other character, it's not falling down. I requested this tons of time and it's not able to create this. Then I just realized maybe we should use some object-oriented patterns, like we should create a base character class, then derive it to other classes from them. And I believe if we use the mechanics on the base character class, like if there is no floor, it will flow. It will work for all other characters, and at least it was a big fault of this project. I just required to create a base character and use all that things. Then the project is failed. I didn't see any fail as big as like that. Then I have to take back all that things. Probably I'm trying to take all that things back. Then I did, and I stopped to working on that project. I also have some other projects like this one, the Archer game. It's like I was creating a game with a Babylon.js. This will be a 3D game. This one is also tons of problems. I mean, I don't know how should I explain that problems. It's like I created the instructions by using Grok this time, because one of the guy on the Twitter, it was saying like Grok is the better one to creating that things. And then I decided to create instructions with the Grok, and I separated all that things task by task, like task 1, do that things, task 2, do that things, task 3.1, do that things, task 3.2, do that things. And it was working fine. I all created that things, but here the character is on the main screen. But it's like I solved that tons of problems here. I believe on this one, because it was just using the FBX file to using that. It's like I had no idea what is FBX, but it's a kind of file. It's the animation and the character included, but it's not able to. Oh, this is also one another key. So here, the FBX file, it's not able to run by Babylon.js. It should be the GLB, but I had no idea about this one, and there's no explanation of this. And here at somewhere at the end of the project, or maybe I stopped it on some, I cut that record on some point. Here I realized that should be the GLB. Then I found a web page to transport that file. Then that after the transfer the file, then it will give me back as a GLB. Then it put that thing, it put the character here, but there are tons of other things. There is no animation, there is no other things. How could be it's not working? And every time the cursor, it's, by the way, I'm using the Claude 3.3.7, it answering me like I'm doing that. But it's not. It's not. So I watched, just here, what I'm trying. These are, yes, these are all FBX file, and that FBX file are not working. But it's not saying anything. It's not saying anything. Look that here. That looks like working, but it's not. There is a big problem. There is a problem of the communication between that things. And I don't know. It's like, how should I explain this? Then I realized that GLB is working well. So I created this tool is changing that files to the GLB. Then I put that GLB file there. And after that it solved some other problems. So the continuous part of this, I solved that T-pose problem, and also I put the animation things there, and it's able to, when you right click, when click other click do that other things, it's animating. But there are some problems on animations, and I was trying to solve all that problems, and I just realized it's not going like that. And this project is also, I stopped because I need to work a little bit more. And then after that I realized not trying to do something with the game, I should do something with my professional. Then I decided to do that .NET application. And in this application, I'm stuck on the same point. I can definitely say, I don't know, it's like, I will update you guys when I solve this, because all of that projects, I believe I stuck on the same point, and that point, it's, I can definitely say there is a complexity limit of the project. I really understand this, and I saw many guys are using the cursors to making live code activities with tons of subscriber, the other things, but all the applications, the complexity level is less than those ones. That's why that projects are succeed on a YouTube. That's why my projects are failed, because the complexity is too much on mine. Even this project, I mean, there are tons of things, and it's not able to understand every step. I have to watch what's going on always. And okay, this is working well. I can do that. Definitely, I can do that. I have no complaints about it. If they announced, I mean, actually, the cursor didn't do anything. The guys on YouTube, the most of the guys in YouTube taking videos, recording videos about the cursor things, are just announcing like the cursor is doing everything. You don't need to do that. This is wrong. This is wrong. That's why I am feeling frustration. Cursor, it's not bad. Cursor is working well, but you have to watch. You have to understand. You have to follow. It is definitely helped me to create code fast as 10 times more. I mean, maybe 20. I don't know. Definitely, it's helped me to create the solve the task faster. But I have to follow always. I have to follow, because it can easily put some other things and had no idea about creating that things. And if I don't know that things, this one is also not able to use. I saw you the other explanation of that things. I mean, that created here to the validate token, but it's just one reference. It even that used. I mean, I have to understand, I have to realize, I have to prompt every time to check everything is that working correctly, double check, third time check, then maybe. So I will start over probably from scratch. And this time I will use the rules and let's see what's going on, what will happen. Thank you guys.